Okay.
It's already live. So we'll get Ben. Do you want to do the intro? Joe?
Where are they? What's going on?
What kind of things happening here?
I guess I've had enough of shenanigans.
They're not fans of shenanigans.
Would you describe what was going on today as a shenanigan or more of a monkey shine?
I don't know. That was some brilliance by Tim. I was very impressed with. If we only leaked that a few more days extra, maybe we could have built it up a little bit. But
I don't think. Here's a problem. You are the boy who cried wolf one too many times. And that anything coming
many times.
When was the last time you saw me cry? When was the last time anyone saw me cry?
Well, I mean, I know you shed a tear whenever we mock your little dog.
A little bit, but then I push it back in. I'm like, go back in, go back in.
Yeah.
You know what I love about that dog? You kept bragging about how it doesn't bark. The breed doesn't bark.
Not supposed to.
And that's all that dog does now.
Well, you know what, Dave? Dogs are good judges of character, and my dog hates you. Okay?
Really? But every time I call you now, I hear the dog in the background whining and bitching.
Well, whining is different than barking. That's him trying to communicate the best he can.
Well, it's a dog, you know. They're supposed to be seen, not heard. Come on.
He's not a child.
It's not a child, Dave. This isn't
Come on, Dave. It's not a child.
This isn't you growing up, you know.
It's not the 80s when we were kids.
Yeah. Stop
true.
breathing, children.
That is true.
But anyway, I think that
how's everyone doing, Ted? That's a legitimate question Ted has.
The only person your little game fooled, Dan, was my mother.
Good.
She was very concerned. She knows how much I love drink and draw. She was upset that something bad might have happened. I told her, no, that's just a Dan foolishness.
Well, it was actually Tim's great idea, and when Tim said it, I was like, oh God, we have to do this 100%. So basically, Tim leaked some like text that we kind of manufactured between us. And that's what happened.
So you were trying to wag the dog.
You wanted to relive the San Antonio thing that happened.
Yeah, that was a great one. And then Bleeding Cool picked up on that, and it was Tim had gotten stabbed in the pelvics.
Yeah.
I love that Andy Belanger made up like his own word for pelvis. It was the pelvics.
Well, I mean, he is pretty good at anatomy, so he would know.
He definitely would know.
He's definitely good at anatomy.
My favorite part was you just drinking like nonstop energy drinks, Dave.
Yeah, which would never happen because literally my heart would explode.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, if there was one true statement in there, it's that your body is not suited for energy drinks.
No.
What type of drink is ideal for you?
Water. That's basically all I'm allowed to drink. Maybe what's that? Nut milk, whatever.
Almond milk?
Almond milk, yeah. So,
are you lactose intolerant also? Can you not have any dairy?
You know, I never was before, but I do find now that when I drink have like real ice cream, there's a price to pay. There's a price to pay afterwards. So I think I think I just had to finally come to the conclusion that, drinking cow udder stuff isn't the best idea for me. So,
well, I don't know where you get your milk from, but milk I have
straight from the tap.
Yeah, I think it all depends on the source. How many antibiotics or hormones or whatever you got in it. It's good to know where your food comes from, right?
I just, I've lately I found a local ice cream place that does vegan ice cream, and it's some of the best ice cream I've ever had. So
how do you make vegan ice cream?
I don't want to know how the sausage is made, Jeff. If it's
vegan. It's vegan. It's probably pretty mellow.
I try. Well, it's full of sugar. Let's be honest. It's not healthy.
Sure.
But they do like a butterscotch with that aerated honeycomb. Oh my God. It's like
that sounds good,
crunchy and fantastic. So, I was pretty much done with regular ice cream at that point.
You went vegan for ice cream.
Maybe vegan's the way to go.
That's like the only, that and I had an ex-girlfriend who was vegan, and she made vegan pancakes using some kind of, instead of milk, she used orange juice.
Oh, interesting.
And it was the bomb. I wish I'd gotten the recipe before I broke up with her. But yeah, that was some damn fine flapjacks.
So explain, guys, is this going to be the show?
Us just talking about vegans and food?
Yeah,
probably.
Oh hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, let's have it. So let's just prove to everyone we're still friends and have an old school drink and draw where we basically spend an hour talking nothing.
All right.
Well, I mean, can we really prove it? Because Joe and Ben aren't here, so there could be some drama going on. Maybe we're not airing it.
Yeah, maybe we're.
I mean, why aren't they here? Why aren't they here?
Well, I mean, they are adults. They have things to do.
Yeah, they have their things.
We all have things to do sometimes.
Here, Dave, here's something. Cheetos are vegan.
Cheetos are vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, beer is vegan, and I'm drinking one of those right now. Are you guys drinking anything?
I ran out of booze, so
what?
Yeah, I know. I've been lazy. I need to go to the grocery store. So
I've got a delicious Sapporo.
Oh my god!
I know, it's really tasty. Do you remember when a friend of ours, who shall remain nameless, tried to squash one of these on his forehead back in San Diego?
A Sapporo? Jesus.
Yeah, he did actually. He did
What was
try.
it, a Foster's? I can't remember.
I think it was a Foster's.
It was a Foster's.
That's even worse.
He tried twice.
Yeah, and because we were smashing regular canes, which I also have here, against our foreheads and smashing them a la Animal House.
Smart.
And then we handed our friend a Foster's, and he tried to do the same thing and almost gave himself a concussion.
Hey, good times.
It was back in the day when San Diego was fun.
He was okay.
He survived.
So what are you drawing, Jeff? What's the?
I am doing. So I'm doing a lot of monsters in the stuff I'm working on, the various books and projects I'm pitching, and I am trying to come up with original looking demon dragon-y type monsters. So for me, that's not an easy thing. I know Dave is really good at coming up with new shapes and new monsters, and I have to struggle with it.
I'm completely out of practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of drawing. Like, you want to mix and match cool pieces of things, but still try and make something unique yet familiar. I think that's always a thing I struggle with.
You mean afamiliar?
Kind of.
I don't even know. I'm just acting stupid. I apologize to the viewers.
Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I had this layout for years, and I just have never gotten around to finishing it. So
nice hips.
Great hips.
I couldn't come up with anything to draw today, so I was scrambling to go. Well, what have I already started that I can finish? And I found this.
Excellent.
So, I don't know if anybody.
Where's Cloak?
Oh, there he is.
There we go. Okay, excellent.
He's hiding in the shadows, Jeff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I really like that S curve to her spine.
S curves are the best.
It's really smooth looking. It's nice.
I love a good S curve.
Hey, Dan, what are you drawing?
He's probably already got it done.
He probably does. Oh, see, there you go. Son of a beeswax.
Yeah, see, it's already done.
Oh.
Well, I mean, yours is done.
No, it's not. It's not even close to be. You've got everything figured out.
All the structures there.
Let me see this. Let me see that dragon again, Dan. Here I am trying to come up with a new dragon. Dan just probably knocked that out.
What do you think of that thing?
I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous of it.
Huh.
All right.
That's how I roll.
Yeah, I mean, we're all. Some people are better at some things than others, and I just that coming up with cool monsters has never really been my thing.
I beg to disagree. I'm not going to beg, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, some guys can really do it. Like Dave is great at the different shapes. You apparently are just knocking that out, just as an afternoon thing.
You know, I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did some writing today, and then now I'm doing this.
Yeah. So originally we were going to talk about Toth, but we got sidetracked.
Well, yeah, I think David talked to me, and he was like, "We should really just do a whole, we should
do it upright."
Yeah, agreed.
That curmudgeonly old bastard deserves,
He was so good at drawing.
So angry, such an angry man.
Well, he was passionate.
Was he though?
By the way, this is how much I'm dedicated to this drawing. I'm opening up a brand new pen.
Uh-oh. That means it's going to be like the pen will be perfectly smooth.
Wow. Yeah, I almost don't like them when they're brand new. I like to break them in a little bit with some being rough on them. Taskmaster.
Yeah.
But I do love these Kiritakis. Ugh.
Yeah, those are awesome.
If I had these back when I first started, man, I'd probably be in the same position I am today.
Yeah,
well, I have to say, like, I've tried to learn how to ink a bunch of times, and I was never able to get the line I liked the way Dan was able to out of those more synthetic brush pens. I never had the control of them, but the ones you showed me, Dave, those are, I find, a lot more manageable.
Well, you can bear down on them. You know, you can't do that with a standard brush pen. You know, you got to be light and limber with it. But these, man, I have shaky hands, so I tend to want to be able to bear down a little bit more to get a smooth line.
And this might be a bit of a kind of a neophyte question, or even a little too technical for most people to care about. But do you guys, when you're doing, say you're feathering and you're doing some thick to thins, do you pull your thin to thick or push your thin to thick?
I pull.
Yeah.
Wait, why would somebody push?
Like they like brushing it, like feathering it.
No, I know, but how would you push it? Like that makes no sense to me.
Like
you want to control the line, and so by controlling the line, the more you're bringing it, the more you're pushing it away from you. Ultimately, the more you're going to lose control.
Agreed.
So
wait, are you talking about starting with the thick and then ending with the thin? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, yeah, because pushing a brush, well, you would just end up with mush.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I started out doing the thick to thin, and of course the points never ended up where you want them to. So, and then actually, I think Carl Story, the great Carl Story,
he is awesome.
Taught me. He goes, no, you got to start where you want it to end. So changed my life.
Yeah, I had a hard time. I finally, I don't know when I was using it, I was trying to learn how to use a brush years ago, and I was definitely doing the thick to thin, kind of like thinking I could snap it, but I didn't have control over it. And then this last time I tried to learn how to ink, I've had a lot more success starting with the thin and then drawing it out to the thick. It's much easier to control.
Well, that's what I do. I do the same thing. I use the same. By the way, Jeff, I use the same pen that Dave is using.
I'm aware of that, but you didn't always use that pen.
Well, I used to use an actual nib.
Yeah.
And then I said, guess what? Enough is enough.
I will say, as far as learning brush, I wish I'd kind of learned the way like Mobius uses his brush, where it's straight up and down,
That's
and he
the
just kind of
Japanese way.
he's got this mastery to it that I know a lot of other people ink that way too, but when I saw the way
That's the way the Japanese would do it. That's the Japanese, like those old, like trying to think of the type of drawing that you would call
calligraphy.
that. I think it's the calligraphers, but they also do a fair amount of painting too.
Yeah. So is that does that holding your brush that way, guys? Does that give you more control over it?
Well, I think if you're good at it, I think yeah. But once again, you got to have that deft hand of confidence. Also, you probably shouldn't have a shaky hand,
Right.
which I do. So I'm not even sure, even if I learned that way, that I would be doing it that way now. Or maybe I would. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have a super clean style, which is fine.
Your style is pretty precise.
Yeah. Jeff, we're drawing the same thing. It looks like, by the way.
Are we drawing the same kind of dragon? Oh, yeah. Well,
very similar.
I like yours. You have a kind of a cool iguana thing happening.
It's kind of based on an iguana.
Well, there you go. That must be it.
If iguanas were a little bit more fearsome, this is how they would look.
Kind of. So you're doing a marine iguana, or perhaps even a Komodo dragon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not like some. Who do we have on? It was Yannick, who was like, it's going to be an entomologist, right?
Yeah, he's a bug guy.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly, he should be on here drawing some monsters. I bet he could come up with some creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, who is this?
Yannick.
You missed it.
Yeah. The episode I missed out on.
Yeah, it was a really good one. We talked about music and bugs and drawing.
Joe sang a song.
You played a song? Really?
Joe sang a song.
He played his Trick and Draw song that he wrote. It was good.
It's awesome.
Is that traffic I hear?
Dave lives very close to the hub.
Oh no, it's my air conditioner. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. What's the temperature like there? It's been super hot here in Southern Oregon.
Yeah, it's been a little hot, but not that bad. See, now it's gone off, so you can't hear it now, right?
Nope.
No.
All right. It'll come on again, unfortunately.
Tell us when that happens.
I will.
Let us know.
There we go.
All right.
Inking basically kind of saves my penciling. It's my secret weapon.
Yeah, as soon as I learned how to ink myself, my penciling really got worse.
If
you're going to ink it, then why does it matter? Like, it doesn't, if you know what the line's going to be.
I just, the thought of literally drawing something twice. I mean, that's kind of what you're doing if you're inking yourself and you're doing super tight pencils. It just, I don't know. That's not how I want to live my life.
Right.
I'd rather screw up a little bit, but at least do it once. Or at least feel like I'm doing it once. I don't know.
I agree.
I mean, there's something magical about the exploration of, kind of inking without a net per se. I mean, obviously you're laying it out and figuring out a lot of stuff. But, you know, if you're figuring everything out, like all the lighting and all the lines and how thick all the lines should be or thin and all that, it just kind of like, you know, kind of boring.
Yeah, it does get repetitive. There's that. So we were talking about Mobius earlier. Do you remember? Like, it's the story. I can't remember the name of it. The guy falls and he's falling through different worlds, and then at the end he is a nuclear explosion. Remember that one?
Yep, one of my favorites.
Apparently, he just started inking that and didn't have a plan or pencils or anything. That's all. I mean, I could be wrong, but my understanding is that he just started inking that, and that's what, and just did it.
Wow. I can see him doing that. I mean, I think he was a genius. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah. I mean, Dan didn't like him, but
I know I'm on record hating Mobius.
Yeah. Did he flirt with your girlfriend?
I think if he did, he'd probably no longer be my girlfriend.
Yeah, because he was a very handsome man.
Yeah,
very charismatic.
Just speak.
And he was French.
Yeah, he was definitely French.
That'd be it for me. I'd be done.
Yeah. How can you compete? You can't compete.
No, you can't compete with Mobius. He's too talented.
No.
Show off.
A little bit of a legend.
Yeah.
I know it's a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Who was better, Mobius or Kirby? Or should it even be asked? I think it's the stupid thing.
Yeah, I don't think they're both different, right? Like it is 100% still comics, but it is apples and oranges.
Yeah.
And also Kirby was, always doing, I mean, they were both, what's weird about it is they were both apparently super fast. Like Mobius was fast.
Yeah.
So I wonder if just being kind of confident.
He had to be. I mean, talk about being prolific. I mean, that guy was, very prolific.
You think he just had so many ideas in his head, he had to get them out? Or he had a lot of bills to pay?
I think anybody who's fast is and this is just my opinion, I think they're a good editor. Like all drawing is kind of editing in a way. You're making a decision, and then you're either committing to it, or you're repenciling it, or you're changing it when you're inking, or you're adjusting. And I think he's probably just understood what he wanted. He had a very clear vision of what he was interested in, and
do you think the speed is
well?
Is confidence?
Yeah. We're confident in you and I, Jeff.
Well, that's not hard to do.
No. You're super confident, Jeff.
Yeah, no, I heard you the first time, Dan.
Oh. Sometimes I really like repeating myself a little bit.
I mean, yes, I get it. I'm not as confident as Mobius. I hear it every day, Dan.
From your wife?
From just everyone. Everyone talks about it.
Does your wife ever come in and you're drawing something that you really like, Jeff, and then she goes,
No. that does not happen.
Well, maybe she should.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps she should.
It's true.
Does that happen to you, Dan?
Yeah. That's why I was very conscious about her not meeting Mobius.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Were you protecting her or him?
For this, Jeff. I had some really big background ideas for this, which I
what were you going to put in there? A moon?
Of course, I was going to put in like Saturn and
nice.
A Saturn-like thing. You can't just do Saturn per se.
Well, a simple ring planet. There's lots of them.
Yeah.
All right, here's a fun question. You're at a convention and you have to do one of those side-by-side panel where you draw for an hour in front of a large crowd. Who would be your worst nightmare to go up against?
One of you guys.
Oh, please.
Let me see.
That's your worst? Come on, Dan. Come on.
My worst, honestly, not being nice to you guys, but both of you guys are. We've done that, all of us together. It's not pleasant. You guys draw very well off the cuff, but I purposely, like when I'm at a convention, I refuse to sit next to Andrew Robinson.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
He draws very, very well.
I just can't handle it. My confidence just goes out the window.
Well, let's say anybody in history of comics.
I got to meet Jose Luis Garcia Lopez once, and he was super chill. And I saw him. He was just sketching a Superman drawing, and it was the coolest. He was just so mellow about it, but it's so effortless. It was amazing. I would hate to sit next to that guy and try and draw. But I mean, it was a great moment. Was also one of my worst nightmares during a drink and draw. I sat next to Bill Sienkiewicz, and he did some amazing drawings, and I was flabbergasted. But I still stood there, just took it like a man.
It's almost as if like it was life, like screwing with you. Like,
yeah. It's like, oh, that's what drawing is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but remember Bill, like got rid of one of his drawings or something like that, and he threw it in the trash. You're like, that's mine.
Yeah, no, he had a zombie drawing that he didn't like, and he tossed it, and I 100% swept it off the ground.
Yeah. He saw you do it, and he chuckled to himself.
Well, obviously, I wasn't trying to be too secretive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's rough. Drawing next to Bill is hard.
Yeah.
We've had the game, though. Like, you guys are far better at the Sketch Fighter game than I ever was.
Well, I remember that. I was like, you were great at that.
No, I was too slow. And also, I never got any references.
What's the references?
Like what the gags, like what people were, like the clues. I never knew anything. Like my understanding of comics is actually, my knowledge of comics is pretty limited to the 80s and the early 90s.
Oh. I don't remember.
You guys are far more scholarly than I am when it comes to that stuff.
Wasn't he a drink and draw guy?
Yeah.
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 Well, he's not dead. I mean, he's still around. As far as I know. It's been a rough year.
For a lot of us. So I heard Tarna's costume changed. Is this true?
Yeah, but you don't have to, you can draw whatever you want. That's the joy of
Drink and draw.
Drink and draw.
Maybe it's like, when they're changing Spider-Man's costume, they, you knew they were going to eventually go back.
Well, I mean, there's the symbiote, the Carnage costume, and lots of costumes have stayed this test of time.
Mm-hmm. Fair. That's fair.
What do you think of that guy, Dan?
Let me see. Hold on. Let's do a little close-up on Jeff Johnson. Amazing delts, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, that demon creature didn't miss arm day.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely goes hard.
Yeah. Let's see what. Let's give a little close-up on Mr. Dave Johnson here.
There you go.
Whoa.
Oh,
Sexy.
Nice.
Hamana.
Ooh, that's a lot of hominas, Dave. I think it was a little too many.
Yeah, it was a bit much. It was a bit.
There's one too many hominas.
Yeah.
It's a kid's show.
Gonna be Me Too'd.
Yeah. Knock it off with the hominas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at. See, that is such a great costume too. Who designed Cloak and Dagger?
I think it was Rick Leonardi.
Was he the first? I know he did that amazing series with Terry Awesome, but I think it might have been someone before him. But we can find out.
You can always find out. Just we can do a little interweb check.
I'm going to do a little interweb check.
So you're going to abandon your drawing right now.
Well, I mean, yeah.
When are we going to have Rick Leonardi on?
What?
I've asked him. He's a busy guy. I would love to talk to him.
He'll do it. I bet he'll do it.
Yeah, no, I mean he's great and he's super cool. I don't know how much
I
he
met him
likes
the
to
same
do.
day I met you, Jeff.
Really?
Yeah. I think we both met him together at that New York Comic-Con.
Excellent. All right.
You and I were probably like, first of all, I met Jeff like very strategically. Like it was no like.
All right. It was Bill Mantlo and Ed Hannigan.
Oh, cool.
And they first showed up in Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 64, way back in 1982. I loved them right away, but like you have to say, those are great costumes. It's a great concept.
Yeah.
Not exactly a practical costume. I mean,
Well,
let's be honest.
Is Batman a practical costume, Dave?
Well, I mean, you know, the boob window is every time they go out, did she have to paste it on? You know, I mean, let's be honest. She'd be exposing herself every time she moved.
Okay. Dave, that's what everybody wants, that sort of realism. I can see costumes like that. Obviously, cosplayers make it work.
It's true. And it was the 80s. It was warmer back then in New York.
Less global warming, Dave. Think about it.
Oh, you guys remember the New York in the 80s and the early 90s? Dangerous place.
Truly.
I caught a little bit of it before it went completely Disney.
Yeah. Dan and I spent some time in Times Square.
Yeah.
How much money did you make?
Oh, good one, Dave.
I worked on commission, so I mean, pretty good.
Yeah.
Were you the inspiration? Well, I'm sure Dan was maybe the inspiration for the Naked Cowboy, considering his history of being naked all the time.
He does look good in a hat.
I used to. All right. I can't put too many lines on the hair. It'll ruin it.
Yeah, blonde hair is tough.
Yeah, because I could go like who does like hair like amazing besides the obvious is someone like Adam Hughes, but also what's his head? Brandon Peterson does some great.
He does great. He has great hair. He has his attention to detail is always very impressive. His flow is nice and smooth.
Yeah, he was definitely didn't sacrifice that at all. That lunatic is working on something too.
He usually is. I mean, he's in demand, isn't he?
I imagine, but I mean, in a sense that I bet you he is. He's cooking up something right now. Like he's just going to drop some like insano graphic novel or something.
I remember when we were at CrossGen and he was working on Chimera, if that's how it's pronounced.
God, I remember hearing him pronounce Chimera, and I didn't like the way he kept saying it. But yeah.
Well, I mean, Chimera, depending on how you want to say it.
Well, I didn't know how to properly say it. I just know I didn't like the way Brandon said it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, that's typical. That's pretty much in line with how I always am, Jeff.
Right. That's just fair. If you look back at that book, not only are his figures amazing, he's just doing some super cool spaceship designs.
Mm-hmm.
And his backgrounds are really great on that series.
Yeah, I got to ink him back in the day on his X-Men.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Were his pencils super tight?
I mean, yeah, by today's standards, you wouldn't even need to ink that stuff. He just you would just digitally ink those, I guess, because I mean they're just perfect. There's a place for that. I think there is a place for like digital inking and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you are really good at the precision of it, and that's the vibe you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this dragon guy is done for now.
Let's see, Jeff. Let's let the viewers actually see.
All right.
So what are you going to work on now that you're just like mission
I have
accomplished?
another one that I'm playing with. I'm going to toy with now. This guy.
All right, hold on. Before you let's see that other one. So when you do that sort of thing, what happens to a drawing like that afterwards?
Well,
because I noticed like you really kind of you're great at like blasting these out. Like almost every drink and draw, there's something that you've drawn. Sometimes we see it finished, sometimes not. But so I imagine there's something happening.
Well, if I like this one, so I'll probably do a cleaned up version of it. Maybe throw some color on it, or I might I kind of like the tail, but I'm not so sure about the some of the arms, and so I'll probably do another version of it and keep the stuff that I like and change the stuff that I don't.
It's a vague answer, but I loved every bit of it.
Well, I mean, this stage is always sort of thinking out loud, right? It's just sort of an experiment.
I guess.
Hey, are there any questions? Have we missed?
There is one. When Travis went into his marker phase, I couldn't get enough of it. We're talking about Travis. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one about Brandon. You and Brandon did some great work back in the day when you were inking. Oh, thank you.
Those aren't questions. Those are just kissing your ass.
Well, I thought it might have been a question, but I'd prefer to hear that anyway.
Yeah, if only you read them first.
Well, why should I read them first? Like, we don't have the benefit of Ben today, okay?
We don't. Ben did a great job in the last episode too, by the way.
Yeah, he really stepped up his game.
He was awesome. Well, he does a great job every time, but like
he does. I don't know if I'd agree with that, but
I would.
Well, you love him.
I appreciate Ben.
Yeah, you really care for him.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence.
I understand. All right. So now more shenanigans.
Wait. Somebody wrote, does Dave know Dagger is 16 years old? Actually, I didn't.
Well, she might have been when she was created, but she's not 16 anymore.
Yeah, this is modern Dagger, who's 29 and has seen life.
Was anybody ever in high school? Did they ever see it does happen.
She was created in the early 80s, and so now she is actually, if she was 16 then, she would be in her 40s now.
50s or 40s.
Yeah.
So obviously that sort of thing doesn't really have any effect.
I mean, it's kind of like saying, do you know Peter Parker's in high school? Well, no, not anymore. He's in a grown-ass man. He's been married, so...
And divorced. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't divorced. Didn't Mephisto do some crazy shit?
I don't think the divorce went through.
we know those are complicated.
We know from a friend of ours they can get kind of complicated.
Oh, life is complicated, bro.
So I hear.
Yeah. So Dan, were you disappointed that no one fell for your little wag of the dog?
Some people did. And it wasn't, again, I'd like to take 100% credit for it, but it was also Tim.
What was the goal of wagging this dog?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You just wanted to see if anyone was paying attention.
Yeah, I'm curious.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. I left that thing. Okay. I left that up too long. Your pinup in the first Crimson Embrace is great. You do cute girl smiles. Thank you. I don't remember that, but maybe that was an X-Men story. Was Crimson? Does anybody know what Crimson Embrace is?
I mean, you worked on it.
Supposedly.
So Dan, you guys both pretty much just inked yourselves.
Exclusively.
Yeah, pretty much exclusively. If you could do just one inking gig and you were going to ink somebody else, who would it be?
For me, it would be John Romita Jr.
Oh, you would do John Romita Jr.? You do JR?
Yeah.
I bet you do a great job.
I used to ink him back in the day, and I did a fair job, but I was still kind of married to doing the Scott Williams style back then. So now I'd like to. I think I'm better equipped to ink it now.
I would totally ink Toth.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he's dead.
Just because it
I
would
mean,
be
I said anybody.
pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
And I would hire an assistant to fill black, so it would be even easier.
Wow, Joe would be working.
Yeah. That's a smart. That's big as money in the bank.
Yep.
Dave would have a great life. He used to live not too far away from you, Dave.
Yeah, I years ago, I almost was picked to deliver some food to him.
Yeah.
But he didn't want anybody that he didn't already know coming to his house, which I get that. So
Interesting. Did he have a lot of people try and get his autograph and see him?
I have no idea actually, but I mean, older gentlemen living alone. I mean, you got to be careful.
That's true. I mean, Dan, didn't you see his house? Didn't you look at his house?
When I was looking to go buy a house, his house was up for sale, and he had just passed away. A lot of stairs. I remember that. He was in. It's like no wonder those stairs would kill a man.
What, to get to the house?
Yeah, it was in like Hollywood Hills east, and so that area is very. A lot of the houses, as you get closer to the 101, are kind of stacked up on hills, but the street levels, much lower, like maybe 50, 60 feet below. If you can believe that, Dave.
I don't know if I necessarily believe it, but I will let you slide on the details.
Thank you.
Well, that's the trouble. Dan has proved.
You guys know what I did here, but I did something pretty clever, and I'd like some accolades if you're in the mood for accolading.
For where you put the sword, or how you spelled heavy metal?
I spelled heavy metal in all the guts.
Gross.
So, what can you give me for that?
$1?
I'll take $1.
I mean, an accolade.
You can give me a full accolade.
I'm going to give you a full-blown accolade.
I'll take one. Thank you.
There you go. Put that in your pocket.
You see that one, Dave?
Well, Jeff's an easy
accolade.
Jeff's an easy get.
It's true.
It's true. Like we give a lot of crap on this show. Jeff is probably it's him and Sean Galloway are the possibly nicest people working in comics.
Sean is very nice. Do you remember, Dan? Well, even in D&D, I let you just take the gold.
Well, I mean, by the time that was what choice do you have, really? I mean, you interrupt the whole gameplay if you stop Father Jaspers from doing everything he was going to do.
Well, yes, I mean that would have changed the focus, but it is just easier to give you the money.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing: it's Dungeons and Dragons, so it's not actually real.
It's true. But you enjoyed the gold.
I enjoyed Father Jasper having the gold. Basically, my character, and this is good. Dave will probably fall asleep while we start talking about this. My character in Dungeons and Dragons is this guy called Father Jaspers, and he pretends he's a man of the cloth, but he's really just a thief. And so he has a lot of healing potions that he uses to fake heal people.
Wait, wouldn't they kind of know if they aren't being healed?
No, they are being healed, but he always charges them. He's like, okay, well, for this price, you have to make a donation to the church, and everyone's like, whatever, I'll do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as though his character's a villain.
Yeah, he's an awful character. He's an awful person.
What would you say his alignment is, Dan? Really bored Dave.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral?
Yeah.
All right.
You accept that?
I do. That has the ring of truth.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider playing a paladin?
Yes, if he was an evil paladin, I would definitely consider it. But only if he was evil and. Yeah.
All right.
You'll play anything, though, won't you?
I mean, I tend to just like the game itself. It doesn't really matter what character I'm playing. I'm not very good. I'm not good at keeping track of spells and whatnot. So I tend to enjoy just a straight up fighter more. But I played the occasional wizard and illusionist.
Dave, what kind of character would you play? I know you hate Dungeons and Dragons. You think it's nerdy. You hate people who play it.
That is true.
I would say that Dave would be a half-orc berserker.
I would be whatever's the easiest to play and not get pissed off.
I'd like it if Dave would play like a sexy, like elf girl.
Maybe like a kind of an ingenue bard.
God, that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Imagine Dave as a sexy elf.
I can't often. It's easy to do.
Yeah. So I was looking at this book. Here, I'll put it up here. While I was trying to figure out how to draw all this crazy junk.
Oh
so
yeah.
you guys remember this one?
That. Yeah. The Nunsuch.
Oh my God.
So good.
It's Bernie Wrightson, and here I'll put it down and like look at this. So here's basically what I was staring at today, trying to figure out how to do this drawing.
He colored it himself too, right?
Did he write it? No, it looks like Susan K.
No,
Putney
colored
wrote it. Colored by Bernie Wrightson and Michelle Wrightson.
Ah.
Do you want to know who the consulting editors were?
Sure.
Tom DeFalco and James Owsley. James Owsley was my first editor at DC. And Joe Quesada's first editor.
Wasn't Tom DeFalco the editor-in-chief when we got hired?
He became editor-in-chief at one point. Because I think he was, well, right when I got hired, he wasn't editor-in-chief just yet. Oh, look at that. It's craziness.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous book.
Yeah, it's nuts. The Amazing Spider-Man Hookie. Or Hookie?
Hookie. He plays Hookie.
He plays Hookie?
Yeah.
I never read it, Jeff. I just looked at the pretty pictures. And I can't read, obviously.
So when I said the Nunsuch, you didn't know what I was talking about?
No.
The Nunsuch, I think, is the name of the ship he's on.
What are we even talking about?
All right, never mind.
Which ship?
There's a there's a ship in there that he sails on.
In that book?
Yes, I do believe it's called the Nunsuch.
I think you're making that up, Jeff.
Jeff,
there's an easy way to find out. I mean, if you look in the book.
All right, let's look in the book because I've had it with you.
All right, I mean, I haven't read the book since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ship.
I might have to call bullshit on this.
No, he's right. Jeff's right. Nunsuch is the name of it. It's right here. It says it right here. Oh God. That's why I don't.
I mean, I hate to tell you guys, but I've studied that book a lot. And here's the difference between us. I read it.
That is a big difference.
Reading is stupid.
Yeah, reading is really dumb.
You know what? It's fundamental, guys. So Dave, here's something I want to run by you. Dan and I had a really great time discussing Oscar Wilde.
Oh yeah, you missed that one, Dave.
So we're thinking we're going to do a lot more poets. Do you have a favorite poet, Dave?
Yeah, who's your favorite?
Is Edgar Allan Poe a poet?
Yeah,
he is.
All right, I'll take him.
All right, we can do.
No. William S. Burroughs.
Burroughs.
Oh, that's Jeff. That's probably Jeff's favorite.
I mean, I prefer Poe to Burroughs, but Burroughs is great.
I actually have an album that a kind of a jazzy hip hop group did with him, where they added music over him talking and reading his own stories, and it's super cool.
What is Burroughs best known for?
Naked Lunch.
Heroin.
Yeah, shooting his wife in the head.
I mean, some stuff that's questionable. But we should do. I know that this is something that is not going to be super popular, but
No.
During one of our drink and draws, we should actually pick a poet and do a drawing inspired by one of their poems.
That should be, the comic fans should love that.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be kind of fun to do like a William S. Burroughs and just do the most weird, crazy imagery,
Absolutely.
We could all do Asylum Asylum before the show and see what happens.
Yeah. Dan, what do you think about that? Who would you pick?
I don't know. I'm not a big poetry guy. I guess I have to go with Burroughs.
Robert E. Howard wrote some poetry.
He did.
Yeah.
But it's still a little goofy.
Is it? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a poetry guy per se, but I do like some. I like the fact that people do it. My wife is a poet.
Didn't she, not to tell stories out of school, but didn't she win some awards in college for her writing?
Yeah, she's one of those people who has one of those degrees where you're like, why would you get that? Like, how are you gonna? Unless you're gonna be a teacher, like, why on earth would you get a degree like that? But she did.
Well, you mean a liberal arts degree?
Well, she majored in French literature and poetry. So
yeah, she's smart.
She's a smart girl. Well, not that smart. Look who she married.
I mean, listen, we all make mistakes. We all make tragic mistakes.
Yeah. I always remind her of that. I'm like, yo, you think you're so smart? Well, look who you married, huh?
I mean, you can drop the ball. People can fumble.
Well, that was a big fumble on her behalf.
It's true. Everyone agrees.
How can I trust her?
I mean, she did flounder in a very serious subject.
Like, how can I trust her judgment after that?
I mean, it's true. Everything is suspect now.
Yeah. Like, really, Elena? You married me. And then I laughed hysterically.
Well, luckily she'll probably outlive you.
This is usually I'm kind of done with this stuff by now, as you know.
Yeah, you're losing it.
You're lollygagging.
I foolishly decided that I was gonna, draw this crazy ass thing.
It is coming out really cool.
Here, I'll show you this part, like all the entrails.
Yeah, let's see the entrails.
Let's see. Let me turn off the light box.
Yeah, there you go. Help us out a little bit.
So now it's all coming together, and it's going to say heavy metal.
Ew, so gross.
Yeah, well, that's what studying brain rights will do to a man.
Well done.
Thank you, Jeff.
I'd buy that for $1.
You can. Yeah. Dave sold.
Yeah.
I could use the cash.
Yeah, I got to figure out what I want to do with this lettering. Obviously, I'm not going to have that done.
Well, gentlemen, I bet Dave and I both had hard outs at 7, and it's getting close. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts? Any wrap ups?
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right, I was thinking more along the lines of everything's fine. We're not breaking up. The band is staying together. Dan was just goofing.
This is true.
Everything is good.
Unless somebody gets stabbed in the pelvics.
We are the best of buds, and the show is a lot of fun. And everyone
should this though. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
I think you might be overstating the best of friends thing, but
Well, I mean,
yeah, we do
you
have
guys
our
are my
differences,
best friends.
Jeff. But we are good enough friends that we're going to do this coming up.
that is
Yeah.
true. That is true.
Good times.
That'll be fun.
I like Dave's picture best.
I like yours. I was really impressed with yours, Jeff.
That was
What-
the year at San Diego when DC set up a photo booth because they wanted to photograph all their freelancers, and I was just like, well, might as well have fun with it,
No, it's a good
Great.
one.
No, it's definitely a good one, Dave. And normally they're not with you.
Yeah, my picture is just someone took a snapshot of me while I was at a convention or a store signing.
Oh, well, you know what? I didn't look at it closely. I remember the one that Courtney did of you. And,
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, sadly, that one, I'm a lot thicker than I used to be in that picture, so I don't really feel justified using it.
Oh, and the one that Courtney did?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be good times.
Are you nervous about it?
I'm only nervous about Dave losing his shirt while playing roulette.
Dave is one of the luckiest players I've ever. Dave typically wins in Vegas.
That weekend was hilarious. The fact that I kept going off to quote unquote go to the bathroom, but really I was just going off to play roulette, and I kept coming back with more and more money.
Yeah.
That was good time. I'm definitely going to just follow you around and just bet where you bet.
That might mess with his mojo though.
That is true.
We'll see. I mean, if I will walk away if I'm a cooler.
see, now I'm gambling with crypto.
Can you do
It
that?
was going pretty good for a while. It was going pretty good, and then it bottomed out.
Oh yeah.
But it's starting to come back slowly this time. God, it was so much fun watching the crypto just like it was like a rocket going up and up and up, and then now it's just kind of just moving along very slowly. So I'm still
the world is
so
it's an unsure place, Dave, and it seems like you've got some good investments.
well, hopefully. I don't have a Lambo yet.
Yeah, Dave kept telling me, he goes, I'm holding for a Lamborghini, hold for Lambo, he kept saying.
Well, I mean, that is.
Dan was like, hold for down payment on a house, dummy.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, forget the Lambo.
Oh.
No, I would never buy a Lamborghini. What a useless car.
I have to say, it was fun. We went to that Lamborghini dealership opening. That was good times.
I remember just looking at the price tags, and it was like the carbon fiber wing, $50,000, and I'm like, good Christ. Yeah, I had to park a Lamborghini once when I was a valet, and let me tell you, not fun.
I bet that was
one once. A friend of mine had one for a little bit, and I was nervous as could be to drive it. And then I did drive it, and I was like, "Oh, I get it now. Now I'm ruined."
Are they super smooth? What's the joy of a Lambo?
Well, I always thought like because they're so expensive, it was going to be a very delicate kind of car.
No,
but they like a Lamborghini is truly like driving a bull.
Yeah,
it's like the best way I can describe it is like driving the Batmobile Tumbler.
Ooh.
Like you'd imagine, like, oh, I can see Batman driving this thing for sure.
Yeah, the clutch was it was like I was at the gym, and had like a giant weight on the leg press machine. And then with the Lamborghini Countach, you can't back up, unless you have unless you literally have to sit outside the car with the door up. It's so awkward. It's just not a very good car.
Actually, that's not where I was going with this, but
well, granted, I didn't take it out on the road. It was just parking it, but it was it was kind of a nightmare. It wasn't fun.
How fast do they go?
I don't know. I think they're in the up to 180 sometimes, or maybe that's remember the Vector, Dave?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Vector was crazy.
Yeah.
They thought the Vector could have reached 200 if it had a better engine. Yeah. I saw a documentary about the Vector. That guy was nuts. Who built it? Interesting story though. Really interesting story. But anyway, hey man, 7:00.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up.
What are you guys going to do now?
I'm gonna.
I got plans. That's all.
Yeah, I got plans too, Dan.
Well, like what?
Well, I mean, clearly I have to make eggs and chorizo.
Well, can I FaceTime you while you're doing them so we can still hang out?
Yeah, of course.
I'm kidding. I'm not going to FaceTime you.
What? See, it's always Dan with you. You're up to some sort of grift, a con.
Yeah. I mean, maybe my life will come to that where I'm like, I can't ever let a drink and draw episode end. And then I have to, find you, Jeff.
All right. Well, here I am.
I know where to get you.
All right, gentlemen. That was fun.
It was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Definitely
some drawings.
Let's all say goodbye. Hold on. Switch this thing off here. Jeff, look at you. God, you look gorgeous today.
It's the lighting.
This is the lighting. The lighting is magnificent.
Well, you gotta plan it just right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Dave, the thing came out great.
I've already left.
Oh, Dave's gone, everybody. Anyhow, we're coming back. We're going to have Doug Mankey has agreed to be on the show, and we're going to show all his animations.
Nice. Hey, do you think you could animate something while on the show? Like a.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. The guys, I don't know how he is able to do his books that he draws, and then
which are crazy good,
and then put together these animations with it, which are so many panels worth of, there's so many frames basically. Yeah. So maybe he can watch him do it. I can see it.
Yeah.
Happen.
Well, let's beg him.
All right, we'll beg. All right, you guys. Right, it's been fun. Next time we'll have Joe and Ben back, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hopefully we'll have them back. You never know.
You might never